Hello there. It's Vivian. No, really? Yes, it's me. It's still me. Uh, well, guys, today is Saturday. I hear people outside today, mowing lawns and blowing leaves and all kinds of little goodies. So at least people are getting outside. I don't know what that means for whatever's going on here, but hey, at least there's some noises outside because it was like really uh scary movie quiet. So at least people are outside. All right, so we are still reviewing this book, A Year of Positive Thinking, Daily Inspiration, Courage and Wisdom by Cyndie Spiegel. And of course, I've left the link down below. um Last night we talked about an exercise in what if. And, we had a lot of what ifs. What if you went all out? And what if you just played big and you were that visionary and that dreamer and that person that didn't care what other people thought and you just you? What if you got out there and you just showed the world who you were and all of a sudden all of those people that you thought, oh man, I need to help some folks. And without even knowing it, you were helping thousands, maybe millions of people. What if? Okay, so tonight's topic is a little bit more somber. Not really. Once you get into the anecdote, you'll see what I'm saying. Okay, so the topic is I'm sorry, friend. All right, so I'm going to read that. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry for whatever happened to you that made you feel less than. I'm sorry. You don't deserve that. Sometimes there is no other answer. And in those moments, a tiny bit of empathy and a lot of love goes a long way. Don't forget to say, I'm sorry to yourself, too, as much as you need to. The greatest forgiveness is the forgiveness you show yourself. Now, I think I've talked about this before. Um, sometimes we tend to beat up on ourselves worse than anybody else could ever do. And, you know, but we have to be willing and capable of forgiving ourselves for whatever perceived uh, bad thing that you did or wrong thing that you did. Forgive yourself first. Because here's the deal. If you don't forgive you, you're going to carry that around and it's going to be this sore in your body, this thing in your head that keeps eating away at you for no reason, because it was yesterday or last week or last year or 5 years ago or 10 years ago, whatever it is. I know from personal experience that does not serve you. It doesn't help you, it doesn't help anybody else. It just doesn't help, period. For you to carry things and be ashamed of things that you've done in your past, that's no longer relevant. What are you doing now? Are you doing the same thing? If you are, just stop it. Stop it and forgive yourself for doing it in the first place and just move on. Because otherwise, what you're doing is you're hurting yourself. And we have to learn to treat ourselves 100 times better than anybody else treats us. So tell yourself, you know what? I'm sorry for carrying that memory for so long that it hurt you. I'm sorry. Look yourself in the mirror and look in the mirror and just tell yourself you're sorry. It it's so freeing. I can tell you, really, it's freeing, because once you really mean it, don't just do it just because I'm saying it, because that's it's useless. Mean it. Get in the mirror, Tell yourself, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anything I've done to hurt you. From this day forward, you are my first priority. And don't think because you make yourself your first priority, that's selfish. That is the least selfish thing that you could do. If you make yourself your first priority, you will take better care of yourself. You will feel better. You will look better. You will just be better. And that person, that wonderful person that you become because you forgave yourself or you told yourself you were sorry and you really meant it, is the person that can go out there and change the world. Then you will be wholly able to go out there and change the world. You can't do it when you're beating yourself up every day. That's just not possible. Because if you're hurting, and have you ever heard those saying, hurt people hurt people? You don't want to be one of those people that all of a sudden all that stuff that you haven't forgiven yourself for comes down on you, and you're so upset about it that you want to hurt somebody else as much as you're hurting. We don't want to do that. At some point in your life, you know, whenever that's right for you, look in the mirror. So you know what? Whatever it was I did, it's no longer serving me. Whether right or wrong, good or bad, it's no longer serving you. Let it go. That's the best thing you could possibly ever do for yourself. And I'm going to tell you a story. It's kind of it's not embarrassing really. It's just part of my life. Okay. All right. So when I was a kid, my dad was abusive to my mom. And I hated my dad for a long time. At least I thought I did. And I carried that and I carried that and I carried that with me for years and years and years. It wasn't until I decided to forgive him and forgive myself for hating him that I felt better, that I felt like I could, oh, God, that just feels fantastic. Why was I carrying that around for so many years? Yes, it was a bad thing, but I didn't have to carry it. It wasn't my burden to carry. And so when I forgave myself for carrying that load for years and years and years and years, I felt 100 times better. And I think, I've said before, you don't necessarily have to walk up to the person that you're forgiving and say, I forgive you. Just say it out loud, just so you mean it. That way, it frees you up from that pain, and it frees you up to also forgive yourself for whatever bad thoughts you had or whatever it was, and just let it go and breathe. It feels amazing. I'm just gonna tell you, it feels amazing. People have things that go on in their lives. Got it. But we don't have to let the things that go on in our lives control our lives. It's not necessary. Have empathy for your fellow man. People are going to mess up. That's because we're human beings. We tend to mess up sometimes, but it's okay. And my favorite motivational speaker says, You can mess up multiple times. This is not an exact quote, but you can mess up multiple times. But you can always start over because life has a reset button. As long as you're above ground, now this is my grandmother's quote. As long as you're above ground, you can do anything. It's only when the Lord has called you home and you're dead and 6 feet under, you can't do anything at that point. So think of this life as just a series of steps that you take. And sometimes you're going to have a misstep. Hit reset. Say, I'm sorry. Oh, I forgive you. Move on. Keep it moving. You can do the same for a friend, for a family member, for a spouse. Because sometimes we have a hard time forgiving those who we perceive as hurting us. Sometimes you can just, I'm sorry, friend. I understand what's going on with you. And sometimes that's just what it is. There's something going on with them. So they reach out, the hurt people thing. They reach out and they hurt someone. Sometimes it's not intentional. And sometimes we just have to say, I understand. I'm so sorry for what you've gone through. Will it hurt you? No. It's words, but as long as you mean it, mean it. And just embrace people. Embrace yourself. Forgive yourself. If you mess up, you know what? I forgive you. We're just going to start over. And just start over. It's a beautiful thing. I'm 59. I'm starting over. I've started over like multiple times in my life. And what I realize is that it's okay. It doesn't matter how old I am. And people say, why are you telling people your age? Because I'm just grateful that I made it this far. There are a lot of people who haven't. I went to my class reunion, my high school class reunion, when it was like 5 years after we had graduated. It was only 5 years, and one of our classmates was already gone. And then as we went to several more, I think the last one I went to was the 30-year class reunion, and multiple people were gone. So for me to tell you I'm really happy that I made it to 59, absolutely, I'm ecstatic. And I forgive myself for whatever mistakes I made. Okay, I made them. I learned from them. And that's always a good thing. Learn from your mistakes. Don't sit there and wallow in them, because what good does that do? Viv, you messed up. Okay. Lesson learned. Fine. I know I keep repeating myself, but I just want you to get it. I want you to get it. I want you to make sure that if you do something that you're not proud of, okay, it's okay. You're not proud of it, don't do it again. And just forgive yourself for doing it and move on to the next thing. Learn from that mistake. Don't make the mistake again if you can possibly help it, but you can, because that's a choice. And then just keep going. Keep moving up. Keep moving forward. You are beautiful people. I'm a beautiful person. So I just wish the best for you all. And I hope that you are getting something out of this book review, because I am really getting a lot of it out of it, and I'm hoping it's giving you some type of value and uh, encouragement, positivity in your life, or ways to turn negatives into positive, because that's the goal. You know, it'll tell you about the negative, and it also give you the turnaround. And I kind of stick some other stuff in there too. But, you know, there's a turnaround for everything. And you know, so how the old saying goes, there's a silver lining in every cloud. This is the silver lining. And if you haven't gotten the book, you haven't read it, go get it. Ebook, physical copy, whatever, just go get it. It's a really good book. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you think. And please like and share. Subscribe to this channel. I will not be doing the squats this evening because my knees decided they didn't like it. Doing it every day. So I'm giving myself a 1-day break, and then I will start again tomorrow. So you won't be seeing me for the second time tonight, but I will start again tomorrow night because I need a 1-day break. Okay, guys, much for watching, and in the meantime, I wish you peace, I wish you love, and I love you guys. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please like and share and subscribe. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.